Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kiana and I do a lot of sewing and fashion videos, and today I'm going to be showing you all the supplies that I think you should look into if you are starting sewing. So one of my best friends is actually getting into sewing, so I thought I should put together a little kit for her and gift it to her so that she can start her journey. Literally, she has the best friend for this because I have so many little extras and I put them all in here so that she can have them. But I thought we'd just go through this, show you what I put in her kit. This is actually one of the Singer sewing kits, and it also already came with a bunch of stuff. I'll show you what it came with and then what I put in to kind of make it more of a full kit. And then I'll talk through all the supplies and tell you like what you definitely need, what might be more of a luxury, or what else you should get and why you should get it. Also, disclaimer, Singer did send me this. They do not know I'm making this video. I did a sponsored like Instagram story ad with this, but this is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. This is totally me just putting together a kit for my friend. First off, so my friend lives in a smaller studio apartment, so something this size is totally perfect for her. She's gonna have a sewing machine and then she's gonna have this, and it's gonna be perfect for her setup. I don't wanna give her a bunch of big things that, you know, take up space in her studio apartment. But also, if you do want this kit, I'll link it down below because it is a great little storage solution for a small space. First off, of course, everyone needs this. Thread. I would recommend, if you are buying thread, to just buy a small kit of a bunch of different thread colors so that you don't need to keep going back and forth to the store whenever you're sewing something new. Get something with like a black and white and some neutrals and some grays. Thread, get normal size thread though. I personally do not love these smaller size threads because they're kind of pointless. They're kind of useless unless you're just doing hand sewing. You're gonna go through this on the machine super quickly. There's not like a whole lot you can do with this. So this kit came with the big thread and the smaller thread cones. But yeah, I would definitely recommend the bigger ones. So get some all-purpose thread, of course. Don't get like silk or like nylon. Get something that's all-purpose. Polyester is gonna be fine. And then invest in some good cutting tools. So this came with these scissors. I think they're supposed to be fabric scissors. Honestly, I tried them out. They are not that great. So I would use these as paper scissors and get some high quality fabric shears. You're gonna want paper scissors and fabric shears. Do not cross them over and use the fabric for paper or paper for fabric. You're gonna ruin your fabric scissors. I really like these fabric shears. One is by Fiskars, it's more affordable. One is by LDH Scissors. This one's a little bit more expensive, but they're my favorite pair of scissors I've ever owned. And they last you a long time, so these are my recommendations. Also, something I love is little thread snips. So you can either get something like this or something like this. These are technically like embroidery scissors, but you can also use this to snip your thread. I actually kind of like embroidery scissors better, but these are great too, and they're cheaper. This does not come with the kit. I threw this in here. When you're sitting at the sewing machine, it's easier to just have this by you to clip all of your threads than something big and bulky like this. I also threw in a rotary cutter. My favorite size for cutting out patterns is a 45mm. I think it's very versatile. This one is by Olfa. Also though, if you're gonna get a rotary cutter, you might as well invest in a cutting mat. This is also by Olfa. It's pretty affordable. You can get on Amazon, Michael's, Joann's, wherever. And then also some pattern weights to go along with that. But I would say a rotary cutter, cutting mat, and pattern weights are not super necessary. As long as you have scissors and pins to cut out your sewing patterns, you're gonna be fine. As you get into sewing, you can invest in a rotary cutter. Next in this kit, again, the small thread cones, don't really love those, but they're there. Bobbins, you're probably gonna wanna buy some extra bobbins to cut thread on so you don't have to unwind your bobbin and keep winding it up every time you change your thread color. I threw in some different, I threw in some different needles. It's a little pack with sizes 11, 14, and 16, so that way my friend has different needles for different types of fabric. You're gonna use a smaller needle for thinner fabrics and a larger needle for the heavier weight fabric, so this gives you some versatility, this little pack. This sewing kit comes with pins, but I also threw some extra pins in there because it doesn't come with a lot, and you don't wanna run out of pins. That kind of sucks when you're trying to work on something and you run out of pins. Also related to pins, my favorite pins ever are these ones from Iris. However, ever since I got long nails, it's been so hard to grab onto pins that don't have the ball head. So if you have long nails, definitely get the pins with the little ball head. Or also, these are great if you lose track of pins easily because you can see them and pick them up easily and you won't accidentally put the garment on while you have the pins and then stab yourself, because I have done that many times. Also, this sewing kit came with little hand sewing needles. It came with a bunch of different sizes, longer, shorter, fatter, thinner, so that you can sew through a bunch of different types of fabric. You just need a little pack. Comes with safety pins, fabulous. You don't need safety pins though. If you don't want safety pins, there's like no reason you need safety pins in a sewing kit. Also, it comes with some needle threaders. This is not totally necessary. You can easily just put the thread through your needle, but if you struggle or if you have bad eyesight, then this would be great. And then a thimble. If you have long nails though, this is not gonna work for you. I use this kind of thimble so it can go over my nail. But a big misconception is that thimbles are just to protect your fingers from like pricking yourself. That is not what they're used for. You're supposed to use them when you're hand sewing. So when you're pushing the needle through the fabric, you can use the thimble to kind of hit the back of the needle and push it in easier. So this is important if you're going to be doing hand sewing, which you are. I threw these in. These are 2 pieces of tailor's chalk. These are my favorite marking tools. Love tailor's chalk. It's like a little waxy type material. It's not like chalk. So it goes on like a wax, and then you use the heat of your iron and some steam to get it off of your fabric. So great because it just disappears with the use of your iron. However, it does stain some types of fabrics. So like really light fabrics, it might stain. Just whenever you're using this, make sure you do like a little test patch on something and then see if it comes off. Otherwise, you could be screwed. But definitely something to mark your fabric with. I also threw in here though a little marking pencil as well. This one's blue because white is not going to show up on everything, so you gotta think about that. And also maybe she doesn't like the tailor's chalk, she wants a different marking medium, so I threw in a different pencil. So just something to mark with, that's all you need. This kit also came with buttons and a little hook and eye closure. Not necessary, but these are great little notions to have. And then I just threw this in. It's a little brand new seam gauge, so use this when you're trying to make your hem even, when you're pressing your hem up before you actually sew through it. So say you want to turn your hem up 1 inch, you just move this little dial down to the 1 inch mark and then use this to measure out your hems to make sure it's even all the way around. And then this one is great because it has a point turner on one side. So if you're sewing something with a nice crisp corner and you need to turn it inside out, this kind of helps you get that crisp corner. So this is great. Honestly, I don't use a seam gauge because I press things on kind of like a gridded mat, so I know the measurements while I'm pressing. So I don't use this, but it is good for a beginner for sure. I used to use it when I started out. Of course, you're gonna need some measuring tape. You're gonna need the soft fabric kind, the dressmaker's measuring tape. This comes in 2 different types of measuring tapes. One of them is like soft fabric has a coating on it, which this one is, you can tell. Some of them are very plasticky, so they're very like stringy and they don't like fall across the body well. So definitely get one that's a little bit nicer like this. And then also preferably get one that goes all the way up to 60 inches. Some only go up to 30 inches. So you want one that goes up to 60 inches, has centimeters on one side and inches on the other side. Of course, you're gonna need a seam ripper if you're a beginner. Sorry, bud, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. Okay, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. You're gonna need one of these bad boys, maybe 2, maybe 3. You're gonna go through them. So definitely get a seam ripper. This one came in this kit. It's a small one, which is totally fine, works the same way. But if you're seam ripping a lot, maybe get one with a little bit of a nicer, more ergonomic handle, you know? Next up, I put this in her sewing kit. So this is just a tracing wheel and tracing paper. I just put 1 piece of tracing paper in it because it literally lasts for such a long time. Sorry, Michaela, this is also a used piece of tracing paper because all of my tracing papers are used, but it's fine, okay? It's fine, you're fine. You're fine, sorry. This is great if you're working from a sewing pattern and you need to make marks on the fabric. You need to transfer marks from the sewing pattern to the fabric. You place this on the fabric, you place the pattern over top, and then use the tracing wheel to transfer the marks from the pattern to the fabric. Tracing wheels come in 2 different types. One is super pointy and dangerous and scary. Let me show you, like this. Dangerous, scary. Have I stabbed myself with this? Absolutely, I have, many times, many times, many times. I don't really like this one. I actually like this one. I don't know, I kind of do like this one, so to be honest with you. But it's kind of dangerous, so for now, I would say get this one. This one, you will not stab yourself. This is not necessary if you're just doing like thrift flips and like alterations, but if you're working from a pattern, absolutely, you probably need this. This, I'm not gonna say much about it. I had an extra one of these because I get sent these, and this is just like to press open your seam if you don't wanna iron it, which please iron your seams. Don't just press it open with this little rolly thing. But yeah, Michaela, if you're feeling lazy, I put this in for you. And then just a little pin cushion. This one's so cute, little baby, baby, baby. A bigger one would probably be best. Also, ones that go on your wrist are my favorite so that you don't have to waste time looking for your pin cushion. It's just always on your wrist. Also though, some people don't know this. This little chili pepper connected to your little tomato is to sharpen your pins. So if your pins get, you didn't know that?
No. I've always wondered, like, what is that?
Okay, so you can feel that it's different materials in each of these. One is just like a little stuffing in it, just hide your pins in here. Also, wait, little pro tip, when you're pinning things in, don't stick your pins all the way in like this because it could stab out the other side. And also it's hard to like grab when you're like in a rush. When you're pinning things, just pin it like this, okay? Just have it pinned in a little bit. But anyways, so the material in here is different. So if you need to sharpen your like sewing needles or your pins, whatever, you just stick them in here, stab it a few times, and it helps to sharpen it. Surprise. And then I also put this in. This is just little tweezers. These are just curved neck tweezers, and I use this whenever I'm trying to thread into my sewing machine. Yes, it does have an automatic threader, but sometimes the automatic threader on your sewing machine will not work with really thin needles. So like size 8, size 9 needles, it might not always work, so I will use this. Also, if you have a serger, you're gonna need this to thread your serger for sure, or a cover stitch machine. You're gonna need tweezers. They're gonna make your life a lot easier. And then adding this to her little kit. Literally, you're welcome. You have a good friend. You picked a good hobby. Did you pick this hobby because you knew I had literally so much stuff to give you? I bet you did, girl. Rulers. So my favorite type of rulers for sewing are rulers that are clear, see-through, so you can see exactly what you're doing and what's going on with the fabric underneath. Personally, I really like something like this, these Omnigrids. These are my faves. I love how big they are. I love how heavyweight and sturdy they are, but they are pretty expensive, to be honest. You don't like need it, but you do need something. So I'm gonna give her this see-through ruler. It goes up to 18 inches. I like the ones that are 2 inches by 18 inches. I love, love, love those. So if you're gonna get anything, get this. These are pretty inexpensive. I also do like this material, honestly, because it's sturdy, but it's not going to crack. Like these ones, if you like step on it, they're gonna crack. So they're pretty durable. So get a 2 inch by 18 inch one, and then also some type of curved ruler. You can get this one in a pack on Amazon. I think it came in a pack of like a bunch for like 30 bucks. I just use like the exact same thing as this one all the time, just so that when you're making curved lines, if you're drawing your own pattern or if you're like altering something and you need to smooth out a seam or whatnot, you can use a curved ruler so you don't have to just like freehand it. And this way it'll be even on both sides. If you're like taking in your side seam, then you can like measure on one side with the curved ruler and do the same thing on the other side. Even, smooth, curved ruler. Also though, if you guys would like to purchase any of this stuff, I'm going to have basically everything linked down below. So go check that out. I'm gonna have this kit linked down below. I'm gonna have all the stuff I put inside the kit linked down below. Also, in all of my video descriptions, I have all of my favorite sewing tools. So like the ones that I use every day, that's all linked down below. So go check it out, you guys. And also things are linked on my Amazon storefront. Truly, the links are everywhere, okay? Anyways though, this is a great thing for my friend to have in her studio apartment. Perfect size, not taking up too much space. Everything's in one section. When she's ready to sew, she can just bring this down from her closet. Wow, that is great. Maybe I should keep it. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna keep it. I'm not gonna, that was rude. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little beginner sewing kit video. Let me know if you have questions about anything down below. And if you like this video, feel free to give me a thumbs up because it's the easiest way to support your favorite creator for free. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My handle is Kiana Bonollo. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. I think we are done. I think that's everything. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.